Welcome into another edition of Spotlight Middlesex County, where today we'll be featuring our Hey Coach series, where I sat down at the Lau House Museum with Frank Malta, Kevin Brady, and Rich Marchesi to discuss their impact on athletics throughout Middlesex County, what it means to be a part of the rich sports history, and where they've seen the game evolve over the years. Let's take a look.
When we get into summer camp, whether you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, we show this video that we have. It's an older video, but it's the history of South River football. So they're aware of what, when it started in 1919, through the 30s with Bill Denny, the great Bill Denny coaching, up in the 40s and 50s, and great players like Alex Wojciechowicz, who played with the 7 Blocks of Granite. His teammate next to him was a guy by the name of Vince Lombardi.
Heard of him? Heard the name?
Drew Pearson, Kenny Jackson, Joe Theismann. So, but my kids are aware of what's been before that.
A plaque with a girl with her goals scored, and I said, I remember coaching against this girl 25 years ago. So it is kind of amazing to put into context what a lifetime in coaching really means, because it's the interactions you get with so many different coaches, athletic directors, the players that you coach that are on your team, but also the players that you coach against. And that community grows over time, and now it's rare to be able to walk into a Wawa or a ShopRite or a youth sports field without bumping into somebody that I either coached for or against. And it's kind of remarkable seeing that web kind of spread out and seeing how connected we all are through sports.
I think it develops every day. It's not only the championships or the wins, it's what you do every day in practice. Kids see that and try to replicate that. If you're doing the right thing, I talk about church, I talk about family, I talk about other things besides football. And again, trying to have these kids steered in a straight line.
I think we have so many coaches and student athletes that are so well-rounded. They understand what it means about character, sportsmanship, doing the right thing on the field and off the field. And I think when we have coaches like that promote that, and for me to kind of spearhead that department now and get to oversee that, I take great pride and great joy in it.
When we check their grades are higher. 99% of the kids, their grades are higher during football season. Then once football season is over, it just tends to go down a little bit, because we're on top of it with them. Not only myself, the rest of my staff and the guidance department, but yeah, it's been rewarding. Just trying to keep these kids focused and again, not only football, but with academics.
Those first few years coaching in East Brunswick, we played on the football field, which was wonderful, great stadium, but the patches of dirt in different spots, the slight crowning of the field, the fact that in an early November state championship game you're playing, that field has seen a lot of use by that time. So now everything is a little bit more controlled, and I feel like we've become maybe too accustomed to perfect settings sometimes. It makes us less able to adapt when something challenging happens. But I think that is one of the big changes as well.
There's a lot. There's been a lot of different ones. The way we practice now is totally different. It's regulated by the state in terms of how long we can actually do live contact. There's heat acclimation in the beginning of August, where you can only wear just a helmet, shorts, t-shirt. After 2 days, you put the shoulder pads on. After 3 days, then you go full pads. And probably the number one thing that's been the major change in the past few years is, I say that word, concussions. It's concussion protocol with the doctor, concussion protocol with the trainer. And back when I played, man, you sit out 2 or 3 plays and you were back in there.
Yeah.
They used to call it, you get your bell rung. But, it's all about keeping the kids healthy.
Yeah, just in my short time there, we've added 7th graders into our middle school program. We've added an ice hockey team, which we try out with South River and with Brunswick, the co-ed team. We've also added a dance team. We also added girls wrestling in my few years. So I'm trying to keep us evolving. I'd like to now keep on adding at our middle school level with lacrosse boys and girls, and with volleyball boys and girls. I think that's just the way to keep moving forward, keep keep our athletics at a very high level.
Yeah, and when you talk about those two sports, soccer and softball, which are the two I'm coaching right now, softball has seen really significant changes in the last 30 years. When I started, the ball was a white softball with flat seams, and years later now it's an optic yellow ball with raised laces, which allow the pitchers to put extra spin on their pitches, which changes the way the game is played. The distance from the pitcher's plate to home plate used to be 40 feet, and it was a pitcher-dominated sport. Now it's 43 to align with college, and you're seeing more hitting. So the game has changed specifically with those changed rules.
I remember those games pretty well. Those are like daughters and sons. But every one of those kids, the kids on the 0-9 team are just as important as those kids that were on the undefeated team. And that's kind of what we talk about. It's almost like the Marines, like a Marine mentality, you know, because you're the star athlete and you're scoring all the touchdowns in the county. The kid who's sitting on the bench or may just be playing kickoff or kick return, special teams. You're just as important. Everyone is just important. And no one's bigger than the program, not even me.
From my role as an athletic director, that is when I want our student body, our student athletes that are playing athletics at East Brunswick High School, I want them to take that opportunity and just have that enjoyment from the sport and learn and use it, you know, and get them to the next level. Because we were talking about adversity earlier and dealing with, you know, in so many, you know, sports helps in so many different aspects of your life, and you know, you take what you have to do, you know, the hard work and dealing with losing, dealing with, you know, having to work harder, dealing with an injury to come back. So I think all of those things, we want that to help them later in life. You know, that's something.
Only when people ask me to write down a list of all of the years and all that. That's the only time at the start of the season the NJ.com will ask us, oh, you know, what was your record? Once that spreadsheet line starts getting longer and longer because you've done a lot of years, that's when you realize, you know, just how many things you've accomplished along the way.
To me, it's all about the kids. You know, it's all about the kids and putting them in the right spot and trying to get them better as a person and as an athlete.
Thank you for enjoying our Hey Coach interview series. You can see the rest of the rich history over at the Lau House Museum and their Hometown Pride exhibit, which runs through December 2025.